Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy.
Today we're talking about Companion, the directorial debut from director Drew Hancock, starring Sophie Thatcher, Quaid, Suri, Harvey Guillen, Lukas, Gage, and Rupert Friend. Companion is a movie amalgamation of what I'm calling the robo rom-com. It tells the story of Iris and Josh, two head-over-heels lovers who go on a cabin-in-the-woods-esque vacation with friends. What entails its said lakeside excursion ends up being the biggest wake-up call of Iris's life. Before we go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a spoiler warning, so now's your time to pause this video, go watch Companion, and then come back and let me tell you how to feel about it. Kind of like producer Zach Kreger's Barbarian, Companion is best enjoyed with as little prior knowledge as possible, which is admittedly difficult in the internet age. I had a couple of things spoiled from watching YouTube videos, but luckily I went in mostly green and had an absolute blast. This is first and foremost a comedy. There are very few horror elements, with a handful of gruesome creative kills to appease the inner gorehound in me. It was super fun to watch in a theater with other people, and my wife and I ended up going to see this on a Valentine's Day double date, which is exactly the vibe and tone Companion is going for. In a bold move from writer-director Drew Hancock, the opening moments of Companion set the stage immediately. We know that someone is going to die, and we know that our speaker, who's revealed to be Iris, is going to learn some kind of devastating truth. This adds an effective tension. What follows is a grocery store meet cute, which made me immediately fall in love with Sophie Thatcher as Iris. It's all very Stepford Wives meets Serendipity, heartwarming and ooey gooey lovey-dovey. The way her lips and eyes quiver at first sight of Josh, Quaid, is gut-wrenching. There is love in her eyes. Too bad Josh's nice guy facade is gone almost immediately. Then, the movie picks up a steady rhythm of unease and confusion. As they arrive to the cabin, which is actually a very luxurious lake house, Iris expresses consternation. Josh's friends don't really seem to like her, which Josh combats by gaslighting her and telling her to just smile and look happy. Ew. Kat, played by Suri, barely acknowledges Iris when she greets the couple at the front door. Sure, the invisible girlfriend trope is on full display, but something else is afoot. The charming Eli, played by Harvey Guillen, who is firing on all comedic cylinders here, greets Iris more normally, as does his boyfriend Patrick, played by Lukas Gage, who continues to show up as the pretty boy MVP in horror thrillers. Maybe there's some misogyny on Kat's part, perhaps a love triangle, and why is Eli so much nicer to Iris than the others? The movie sows so many interesting threads within its first 20 or 30 minutes. It's enticing and super fun to pick up the breadcrumbs that Hancock has dribbled throughout. Then we meet the mysterious and suave Sergei, played by the playful Rupert Friend. He's out of place with the others, and it's not immediately clear until later that he and Kat are dating. One of the missing links in this movie are its more underdeveloped characters who feel more like a means to an end than as actual interesting aspects of the story. Iris is the odd one out, acting as the nervous, needy, jealous girlfriend to Josh, almost as if she's programmed to be obsessed with him. He's so clearly condescending and shitty to her, barely acknowledging her during their group dance party, and then later literally unloading into her, falling asleep, and telling her to do the same. All Iris wants to do is express how much she loves him. She would die for this guy. Once it's made evidently clear that Iris is a robot, the movie's momentum takes a different turn and we lose some of the tension to expositional dialogue. Still mostly good, but it takes a lot of time to over-explain its lore and to outline things a la Gremlins or The Substance for those Demi Moore-pilled folks watching. I tend to really gravitate towards rules movies like this, so it mostly worked for me. I liked learning about the ways that Iris's inner circuitry was being manipulated by the incel king Josh, and thus I was doing mental gymnastics to see how she could utilize her programming to best his domineering beta male strategies. Seriously, it's beyond evil that his pet name for Iris is Beep Boop.
That was diabolical!
And from there, the rest of the movie is pretty simple. Josh and Kat have a pretty fucking stupid scheme to frame Iris as the killer of Sergei, who they know has like $12 million because he's a Russian mobster, but he's actually not a Russian mobster and hilariously turns out to be a dirt salesman. I mean, this movie's really funny. Where the movie shines most, though, is in its craft. Directing, cinematography, acting, and sound design are off the charts great. Each scene is so well framed and telegraphed, not so predictable, with just enough twisty spin to keep you glued to your seat. The tasers pop in your ear. The plastic melting fire crackles. It shimmies the line between comedy and thriller almost seamlessly, similar to the way that Jordan Peele does. Hancock may be the closest modern director to emulating Peele's tone so far. Bar none, Sophie Thatcher was the best part of this movie. She is given so many things to do and manages to enhance the material to greater heights. She speaks like a dozen languages, has to effectively convey the aspects of being a love bot, only to then figure out that she was programmed to be said love bot, and have to add that human, not human aspect of realization across her face. It's great, she's great, and it's a terrific performance. Her chemistry with Jack Quaid amplifies that. Iris and Patrick feel so human despite being synthetic. There are strong implications in their robot programming, and in the chosen acting performances and rule posturing, that if these robots can feel so human, is human emotion as easily telegraphed? It played a little into the idea of simulation theory. Could Hancock be making the assertion that these future robots will not be all that different from actual humans, especially because their designed circuitry essentially equates to atoms stemming from God's ghostly breath? There's been a huge trend recently in not just robot love, but AI movies. We've got Megan, the underrated 2018 Upgrade, and even 2022's Made for Love. With the ever-increasing presence of AI in not just the movie conversation, but the society conversation at large, it's been interesting to watch this new tone setting in recently and seeing how directors like Drew Hancock are reacting to it. And once again this year, we've seen an effective uncoupling and rewiring of the genre movie. But to throw it all the way back to the beginning of the review, it's the first look into what love looks like and feels like for the robot, a la robo rom-com. Humanizing computers and the dangers of doing so, or the danger of tampering with delicate programming, hasn't been explored like this since Steven Spielberg's spectacular AI artificial intelligence. There's so many delicious subtexts to devour in Companion, and so many genre lines being blurred and reimagined. We're living in a fun time for the movies. Sophie Thatcher captures the magnetic hum of electricity connecting in the organized, correct ways to elicit love. It's heartbreaking, and the darkness of the movie swept me off my feet after I'd had a couple of hours to chew on it. Josh's character arc is dark and reminded me much of the movie Don't Worry Darling's third act spin. The danger for women is ever present, and Drew Hancock found many clever ways to elicit this in his script in ways that are both very, very funny and deeply disturbing. I'm looking at you, intelligence meter. It's also sadly very accurate to today's world, as Apricot Adolf and his cronies are trying to cram Christian conservatism down our throats every day. Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher are already stars on the rise. This is a fun and fascinating genre-bending thriller, and it's a really, really interesting movie on multiple levels. There may be some overhammering of jokes and themes, and it's definitely not perfect, but this bodes well for original IP getting a chance for larger releases. What did you think of Companion? Did it leave you oiled up and ready for more, or did you decide to return this bot to the factory for faulty programming? Did anyone else find that Goo Goo Doll's needle drop absolutely diabolical?
That was diabolical!
Leave all the comments below, and before you go, don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching this video and continuing to support the channel. Until next time, remember to smile, look happy, and go to sleep, Beat Boots.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.